So next on the agenda we have Troy Bennett, CEO of Bennett's Petroleum, to give us another example of a Tasmanian business that's investing in their people whilst at the same time achieving some significant growth. And it's a story I've heard a few times now, but I certainly never get sick of it. And it's one that a local Tasmanian family business that you know is certainly on a significant growth journey. So welcome Troy to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, the organisers, for inviting me here today, and hopefully you will learn something about what we're doing, because I'm learning a lot from what I've been hearing today. Now, okay, my name's Troy Bennett, CEO of Bennett's Petroleum. We've been working in the industry since I was 7 years of age, and I've been full-time at Bennett's Petroleum since 2002. I was trained as a school teacher, never taught though, and I travelled for 10 years instead. So this, you would have seen this before. This is what I've been working on in our business. I'm not sure if this is on or not. Is the vision, the strategy and the culture. Now, I was new to being a CEO 6 years ago. So I had to learn quick, so I read a lot of books. And there's no training for that. But these are the 3 objectives I work on every day. So we're a family business. My father started the company in 1977, and 1 truck. He's also the managing director. He's the shareholder I have to talk to every day and tell him how much money I'm spending. Family owned. We operate 14 convenience stores throughout Tasmania now. We deliver fuel to 80 locations per day, and we serve 9,000 people per day. This is what we look like 2012 when I thought I should become a more serious CEO. This is what we look like. 115 staff members, 5,000 customers per day. Business only in the south, average age for workforce 40. Retention rate 80% on the whole organisation. Our drivers 100%, which is a fantastic effort, but was it really? So I said to myself when I looked at 2012, can we do better? Are we going to be competitive with those set of numbers? And there's other numbers I looked at as well, obviously. Balance sheet, obviously. And I thought, no, there's a few things we can change. And actually, there was a lot of things we should change to make sure that I got the best out of our people. And I realised that we had a lack of leadership. We had an ageing workforce. We had unhealthy bodies, very unhealthy bodies. For example, our truck driver's waistline averaged 108 centimetres. We had a lack of knowledge in looking after our own people when it came to mental health. Our origins were farming and trucking. So we were tough, and we always got on with the job, and we never said anything. We just got on and did the job we had to do. So talking about issues of personal grief or talking about issues of I'm not feeling very good today were never spoken about. It now is. We had a lack of leadership within our teams and our locations as well. And we definitely had a lack of open and honest communication, stemming back from, I believe, that generational issue of not talking about issues and not talking about necessarily the truth about what someone's performance was. It might have been a very crass comment, it might have been a pub comment, but it was never done in a formal or in a sensitive manner. So I thought, how the hell am I going to get help? Because I was a new CEO, and I knew that culture played a massive role in what we were trying to, how we were going to get ahead and be competitive. So fortunately, I met a few people from workplace and wellbeing advisors who steered me in a direction, and I got to meet a lot of different people who could actually help our company. So a very consensus approach was taken to make sure we could get the people we wanted. So how were we going to actually improve? And we come up with we come up with implementations of mental health. So we knew that we had to improve mental health. So what we did, we started having a strategy. So we had a mental health strategy. And the key drivers there is that we wanted a happy workplace. We wanted a healthy workplace. We wanted to retain our people as well. Managing the risk of mental health. Well, that should be managing the risk of mental illness. We wanted to make sure that our people were healthy, so they didn't get actual mental illness. And that obviously crosses over into the family community as well, if we can stop that happening. And because we were growing, we wanted to grow, we had to make sure that our staff could manage the cultural changes that were taking place and the expectations on performance as well. So our goal was to improve the mental health and well-being of Bennett's Petroleum staff and Mood Food staff. So 5 times a month, there's 5 major meetings a month. We sit around the table and approximately 35 of our staff, we talk about our health and our well-being for any length of 1 to 20 minutes. We've had a lot of tears. We've had a lot of support from our people that sit around those tables to hear about what that person's concerns are for the day. And we've heard a lot of different experiences from people who are having their family members pass away, even from their dogs and cats passing away for that matter. But it all makes a difference if someone's listening and they know there's support there. So those meetings take place every month, and there's 5 of them. And that really does help them express their concerns in a way that there is support in the workplace for them. At those meetings also, we talk about what are you doing to help your health? And it might mean that are they drinking enough water? Are they walking enough? Are they standing up enough? And are they drinking less alcohol? I can tell you that there's one member of our workforce that drank 30 litres of Coke a week. And another employee who, I think it was 3 cartons of beer a week. So we have a workforce which is generally grade 10 educated, and we are trying very hard to get better habits, to get these people to have better habits during the day and during the week, and we are. So staff performance, mental health, absenteeism. So we can measure staff performance by obviously how many tears we see, what conversations they have with us and our leaders, and obviously how much time they're off. The second initiative we had to put in place was a leadership culture. Back in 2012, I could see that I was leading, trying to lead, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, but I needed more leaders. So the purpose was to develop leaders, strengthen teams, organise in culture development, and we came up with trademarks and ensure staff. Forget that slide for now, actually. So I got John Fletcher to come in, Good to Great, Tasmania, and he got me to understand that if I was going to improve the business, I needed more leaders. And I needed to stand up myself and become more of a leader. And that's been hard because I thought I was already leading. But I wasn't leading as well as I should have been leading. So we sit around once a month now with my leadership group, which is 8 and 9, and that started 2 years ago. And that has been sensational for us because the first meeting, everyone was crossed-armed like this because no one wanted to talk about much at all because they didn't want to let any secrets out in case they look bad. Well, now, in that meeting also, we've had many tears and very, 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 very large amounts of frank, honest conversations which has transformed our company. And I can sleep better at night knowing that I've got 8 or 9 people who are actually making sure that the people below them are actually being looked after and having really good conversations. Below our leadership group, we have emerging leaders, and there's 15, 16 of those leaders, and they are also learning about having open and honest conversations. Again, a lot of these people are grade 10 educated, and they're learning now about how to lead and how to have really good conversations with people. Without good conversations, you can't grow. Back in the old days, you buy more trucks, buy more service stations. They're assets. They don't make you money. The people make you money. We had to invest in our people. It's the only way that you grow or sustain. So we put our people through professional development programs as well, because a lot of them need the extra training. So the second one was fit for work, we employed as a contract Rick Azalea to help understand our workforce in terms of their health. So he assessed every employee, 120 employees, personally. And the results were amazing. At one location, we had 70% of our workforce smoked. And as you know, our truck drivers had an average waistline of 108 centimetres. So we put some goals in place. Well, here's the truck drivers there. You can see some of them. And they needed some help. And so this is what we did. Conduct an individual assessment, deliver online learning and coaching to enable them to actually take responsibility for their health. And obviously provide feedback. Now, out of this assessment and learning and feedback, the average size of our truck drivers dropped 10 centimetres waistline. And okay, you're going to say, oh, it's gone back up. Well, it bloody has. But it hasn't gone up as much. It hasn't gone up to 110 or 108. It's gone to 102, I think it is. So it went from 108 to 98. Now it's 103. So it has worked. They now can fit in the trucks. Because the average seat only holds 120 kilos. So we had to get our truck drivers to lose fat. There's no other way. So through very serious assessments and knowledge-based training, and then direct personal information, these men actually changed their lives. And they're changing their families' lives because they know how to eat a little bit better than they did. And then you're going to say, okay, is it still working? I said that. But the thing is that they now know that they can change their habits when they're going bad again. We all know we might have 3 or 4 weeks of carbs, 3 or 4 weeks of alcohol intake. But these men know now how to get back to what they were before they go on those benders. And we all have those benders when we go on holidays. But they now know how to get back to a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, it's good. And in terms of one of our service station managers, he was 130 kilos. He's now 98 kilos. And he was a service station attendant. He's now a site manager at Moodford Rugby. And seeing him lose those 30 kilos, you could see that he had more energy. He also became more present and more engaging. And now he's doing very well for himself, financially, as well as in terms of his family, as well as his health and well-being. We have a walking group, 30 minutes every day. Our administration team go for a walk, and I get them out, and they need to go for a walk. Otherwise, they don't come back next day. We have a massage, renal massage once a week as well. Each person gets 15 minutes. That's that head office. That's not all the staff. Sometimes morning yoga. We also have an Asian workforce. 53 is the average age drivers, 43 average over across the whole company. So I needed to talk to those people close to 65, 5 to 10 years, about how you want to transition out. And how are we going to embrace and get information back from them to help us share the IP they have? So they were really good, important conversations I had. And it helps them feel safe about their work as well, about they're going to stay to 64. Gives them a choice, gives them understanding of what they want to do. It might take 2 months for them to understand they want to actually leave at 64 or 66, but at least that conversation's taken place and they feel secure. Lastly, fifth initiative which we put in place was the health and safety wellbeing. So I employed an extra staff member to help us with making sure that our policies and processes were as good as they could be, to make sure that our drivers and our service station attendants could actually be safe 24 hours a day. That process has been good and it's needed. However, reducing weight, having healthy habits, having a healthier mind, I believe is far greater, more powerful than policies and processes at times. And having those car park conversations, those corridor conversations about how you're feeling today. By the way, you've got a new role, you've just put on another 10 kilos, you need to lose some weight. Because I train for employees, they might be on the drive a lot, and I know one person especially, he's now one of my senior retail managers, he sits down more and he's put on 10 kilos. So I have that conversation. You need to go out and do more walking because he's going to get to 110 kilos. And then he's not going to be very productive because he's too tight. So it helps him, but it helps also us to be more efficient. So he's more productive and efficient in his workplace. So those frank conversations, they might sound really raw, but they're so powerful because they know that we care about them. They know that we care about the people that we have working for us. And by no means are we perfect. This is a work in progress and we've got a long way to go. But we've started and now we have 180 staff, 9,000 customers per day transacting, and we're now statewide. 5 years ago, if we were down the same path, I couldn't have taken those opportunities to grow our company. But through leadership, through people understanding what health is, through having better conversations, more improved conversations with our people, people feel more secure, happy at work. And they feel like they can trust us as well. And I can trust them. So it's been a really good journey. We're still on it. We've got a lot to learn from third-party providers and other professionals in the room, as well as internally, but don't forget the power of you having conversation with your employees and all your peers. So thank you very much.